many people that could do this. I thought about a brother, a coworker, a friend. But deep in my heart, I knew that this was mine to do. The memories and stories that flood my mind, time could not tell. As I sat with my siblings going over many stories and memories of times gone by with my dad, we all agree on one thing. Our childhood and life with him was unique, to say the least. My father was a man who always came bearing gifts to us children. Every trip he took, we knew there was something coming back with him for us. Unlike many children, our gifts were not teddy bears and toys, but instead, many consisted of strange and wonderful things like exotic pets he had picked up somewhere or the other for us on his way home. Once, he brought a big booger bird from the beach where they fish. This huge white bird with an attitude. We kept it downstairs on our porch in Sandy Bay, and it kept us hostage behind the glass door. It would chase and pick at us anytime we went around it. And my dad insisted it was just a bird. There was nothing to be afraid of. This went on and on until one day my mom had enough of it and gave him away. Another time, she showed up with this beautiful horse from Cortez. He wanted us to learn to ride it. We kept him around and tried many times to get on with no avail. Until someone decided one day to tie him on the slope of our hill. That did not go very well, obviously. So we had to get someone to dig a huge hole before my dad got home to bury his horse. For days we told him we didn't know what had happened. We couldn't bear to tell him that his beautiful horse had been accidentally hung by us. Another time, he arrived home with this huge turtleback in the shell. We could all get in this together and slide down the side of the hill. Never for once did a thought crossed our mind that we were riding in the carcass of a dead person. That was my dad. Always did the littlest things seem like treasures. Every trip was filled with gifts like wild parrots, macaws, monkeys, donkeys, dogs. I can vividly remember waking up one morning and finding out we had a new-grown adult golden retriever. Apparently, Dad had won this dog in a bet and brought it home for us. It had specific instructions that it ate only spaghetti. We cooked this dog spaghetti like one day, out of desperation, I guess, the dog finally decided to swim back to his real owner on the boat. That's a long swim if you don't know how far, so that is my memory of it. The most interesting pet he brought home for us was a baby jaguar. Yes, we once had a baby jaguar. Needless to say, that one didn't end well either. As an adult looking back now, I wonder what would we have done with the adult jaguar walking around the yard. We were so excited to own it that the thought never crossed our mind. Even after all that, he never gave up on bringing us animals. The dog I own today he brought to me. We also have collections of every shell in the sea. Dad made sure he saved them from the nets or wherever he found them. He knew we would love to have them. He taught us from kids that the two most important things one could know about was current events and weather. From kids at the table, we learned how to hold our own in any conversation regarding those topics. He taught us the importance of reading newspapers every day and knowing our geography. He put us in a boat in a car, on a horse, or anything that could transport us to whatever part of Honduras that he thought we needed to see. We went duck hunting in the rivers of the Mosquito Coast, sat in the therapeutic mud holes of Trujillo, had many lunches in the Garifuna villages along the Atlantic coast, toward the Mayan ruins of Copan, and just about every hill and valley in the north, south, east, and west of Honduras was covered. And you know, we might as well have been going to Disney World, because he made us feel that it was that majestic. 2 years ago, 2 weeks into retirement, my dad was handed down a death sentence, one that would knock any person to the core. Initially, we felt as if the air had been sucked out of the room. After the weeks of grim prognosis, and really contrary to many medical opinions, my dad started chemotherapy. I remember dropping him there. It was as if he was going to a dental appointment. He never made a big deal about it. As time went on, so did life. Cancer was something we never had time to talk about. I never heard him say it. I never heard him complain or curse it. He simply went on with life. We spent a lot of time gardening, cooking, grocery shopping, having coffee at the breakfast table as he would tell me how he slept the night before, and I would tell him if it would rain or not that day. He went to visit family and friends. He went to Brownsville, to Tampa, to Alabama, to Louisiana, Port Arthur, to Honduras, and of course, always came back bearing his special gifts. He brought green bananas, limes, grapefruit, pot to cook avocado, seeds to plant. My house is still full of seeds, bags of seeds. Seasonings that he had decided we must all try. Fresh bread, lemongrass with the mud still on the roots. We have rocks that he brought from Manhattan. They're still on my sister's porch, and he would check to see that the gardener hadn't thrown them out, that they were his rocks or trees. Even weeks ago, facing surgery and radiation for brain metastasis, we planted a pear and a plum tree because we needed to have a pear and a plum tree. Here I was in my mind questioning, I may want to move soon from this house. Should I spend the time and money on a tree that would not bear anything anytime soon for me? Here was my father with stage 4 cancer, planting everything he could get his hands on, including pepper trees. He never gave it a second thought as to whether he would reap his harvest. Roxy would get so mad every time she took him to the doctor, because the entire time there he would ride, he would complain to her of some pain or the other, and then get to the office, and as soon as the doctor said, "How are you feeling, Mr. Kirby?" he would enthusiastically respond, "I'm doing good, Doc. I feel good." That was his response. And this went on right up to the very end. You see, my dad had a choice. He could either sit down and be a victim of his cancer, or he could get up and live, and he chose to live. There is a lesson to be learned in his story. No matter what your circumstances, whether it be sickness, financial woes, family problems, whatever your cancer, you can choose to be victimized by it, or you can choose to live.